there are people that they're just like the sore spot in the community. They're a sore spot in the group. They're a sore spot in the network. Like they're just a toxic person. What do we do with them? As Christians, as followers of Jesus, we don't cancel people. We remove influence from people. You might be wondering, well, Jonathan, how long do I love the toxic person? How long do I continue to love the person that's hurtful, that's hateful, that's mean? You've got these people in your life, they're used to be friends, they're family members, they're uncles, they're moms, they're dads, they're coworkers. Maybe they're just even a person that's just like so emotionally needy that you are so just drowning, right? Because they just are like stuck on you like a leech. How do we treat those people in the context of this community? What do we do? How do we do it? And I'll say this, when you're connected to a network of people like this, you're connected to a network of people who love you and who care about you and who share in a mutual love of your Heavenly Father. When you're connected to a support network like this, it becomes way easier to continue to love someone hard to love. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say that right now. It becomes way easier to continue to do that. But if we're disconnected from our relationship with our Heavenly Father, if we're disconnected from the group, if we're disconnected from people who are pouring into us, that just becomes way harder to love people that are hard to love. I mean, that's the reality of it. But sometimes even still, there are people that they're just a sore spot in the community. They're a sore spot in the group. They're a sore spot in the network. Like they're just a toxic person. What do we do with them? Jesus actually talks about this, and we don't talk about it a lot here on stage, and not a lot of churches talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it this morning, and I hope it's not offensive to anyone. But listen, I just wanna go ahead and say this, that it only makes sense in the context of Christian community that we've been talking about. So Jesus says, if there's a person in the group, in your relationship, if there's a person that's dragging you down, that's hard to love, this is what you do. He said it in Matthew 18, I'm just gonna tell you what he says. He says, number one, confront them. Tell them the truth. Hey, you're living this way. It's toxic, it's dangerous, it's mean. Confront them. And if you go and confront them and they still don't hear you, Jesus says to take somebody else with you. This is where the community is important. You take another person with you, and then the two of you confront them and say, hey, you're living dangerously. You're getting too close to the edge here. You're going through guardrails. You need help. You take somebody with you, and if you still don't listen, then you take the community. You take your small group. Maybe one day all 250 of us are gonna show up at your parents' house. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna go together. You take somebody with you, and then you take the community. And this is why this matters, because if you're not connected to the community, you can't bring anybody with you. This is also why this is important, is because sometimes you think that you're engaged in a toxic relationship. But you can go to that community and say, let me tell you what's going on. And they can look at you and say, you're the problem. Not them, you. You've got accountability built into this. So we're not calling somebody toxic that's not actually toxic. And you can ask that person, I do this all the time. Hey, I got this going on in my life. What do you think? And they'll say, Jonathan, man, that's hard. Or they'll say, Jonathan, you're the problem. We need those people in our lives. We need that community. And Jesus says, if you take two people and then you take the community and that person still doesn't get it, he says, treat them like an IRS agent. Literally, he says, treat them like a pagan or a tax collector. And what's important to note about this is that pagans and tax collectors were regularly invited into the community. They were regularly invited into the community. That actually Matthew, who we have a gospel named Matthew, spent time with Jesus, was a tax collector. And so what is Jesus talking about here? As Christians, as followers of Jesus, we don't cancel people. We remove influence from people. And here's what I mean by that. If there's a person in your life that is just dragging you down, that is toxic, that is making life hard, you don't cancel them. You just move them farther away. you're not helping the community. And so you can sit a little bit farther away. Don't get to have influence here the way that you used to. But you haven't canceled them. You haven't written them off. You've just moved them to an outer circle of friends. Does that make sense? If that person calls you and says, hey, you know what, I need help, you're going to go, you know what, I'm there. I'm going to help. I can help you move. I'll cut your grass. But I'm not going to sit down at dinner with you and let you speak all these things into my life. And here's what's so powerful and so important about love. And again, I'm probably going to step on some toes here when I say this, but I need to make it clear. When we love people like this and when we love people in the community, love is not about acceptance. I think acceptance is a part of love, but love is not about acceptance. Actually, I would say that that's a dangerous part of love, that as people that love somebody else, we should want the best for them and we should want the best for their life. And if somebody in your life is going down a dangerous path, you don't just accept them because you love them. You challenge them. Love is not affection. You can absolutely feel affection for somebody you love, but love does not mean affection. I don't have to have warm, fuzzy feelings about you to love you. Because love is just an investment of myself in you, and when you need something, I will show up to help you, but I don't have to have warm, fuzzy feelings about it. I don't have to have butterflies in my stomach when I see you, you know? Love isn't necessarily about physical things either. That just because I love you doesn't mean you have to hug me. Don't touch me. I'll be honest, one of my love languages is physical touch, but from a very small group of people. Because love doesn't equal, love is the free gift of self. And there's people that are hard to love and you can move them outside. This is the good and beautiful community, this mutual understanding of love, of people that support one another, people that pour out and pour in. And there's going to be days where you're going to wake up and you go, Jonathan, I don't want to love today. I don't have it. But if you're connected to the community, if you're empty, somebody else hopefully is pouring into you. And it's just this mutual giving and taking and receiving and loving. And it's this community of people that support one another, that encourage one another, that build up. And this is church.